Hello, world. What's up, guys? This is Dave Van Alken once again on the Fight Bananas podcast. What's up, guys? How's everyone doing out there? Man, oh man, back on the show again. Probably, maybe our most, frequent guest. Third or fourth time on the show. We're talking about Mike BeastBoy Davis, UFC featherweight fighter. It was just so funny. He's fought twice in the UFC, both, combined, 15 days notice, 18 days notice, both at lightweight. And then, when they announced the fight, something even said bantamweight. It's like, no. Mike Davis is a featherweight, and we're so excited for him. UFC Norfolk, February 29th, ESPN Plus show. So excited. Let's just talk to him. Let's see how it happened, see how training camp's going, see how he had it, the holidays and the new year coming up. Let's talk to the Beast Boy, Mike Davis. All right, guys, back on the show. And Mike, I think I started it off. I think you're the Fight Bananas most freaking guest. Multiple times, 3, 4, 5 times. It's like every time before a fight, after the fight. Man, Mike Davis, thanks for coming back on, brother.
It's a pleasure. It's always nice to talk to you, Dave.
Appreciate it, brother.
Being on the show.
First of all, happy holidays, Christmas, New Year's, 2020. Go into that. Was it a good time? Good holidays for you?
It was. I spent the time down here. My family went up to New York. Part of my family spent their time in DeLand, but I spent it down here. I stayed home, for myself for one time. It was different, but I enjoyed myself.
Very cool, very cool. Okay, so let's kind of get into it. UFC Norfolk, love it. You and I talked 2 weeks ago, 10 days ago, and we talked about another card further in the year. And you're like, and the thing we talked, it was great talk, it was fun, but you were like, Dave, I want to get back in sooner. I'd rather kind of start this rise a little sooner. So boom, February 29th, UFC Norfolk, ESPN Plus show. How pumped, excited for you? How did this all happen?
Well, in Copenhagen, actually, I was supposed to fight Danny Henry. I didn't remember his name. Danny Henry. And
yes,
he pulled out of the fight. I was having the worst camp of my entire life. So, honest, I was so happy he pulled out. And then they offered me a replacement, which was Giga. But I didn't want to take a fight because of my camp, because of how I was feeling at the time. So I was like, it was a blessing to be pulled out of the fight in the first place. And I didn't want to jump into another one.
Right. And Mike, can you tell that story? If you don't want to, that's fine. Like you told me, you're like, I asked the world, the stars, like, tell me something, like, give me a side. And then your Henry pulled out. You're like, okay, that's it. That's the sign. I'm not going to Copenhagen.
That was the ultimate sign. You want to know that story?
Yeah. Give it to him. The people love that stuff.
Man. So I came down to Coconut Creek to train with Dustin Poirier, to train for Khabib. And while I was down here, I got word of my fight like halfway in, a couple days in actually. So I started training for my fight. Almost instantly, I fractured one of my toes, and training was hard, but I kept going, so it was fine. Then after that, I ruptured my eardrum, blew a big hole in it. I couldn't hear for a week and a half. Just couldn't hear anything. Then I go out to my car one day. I was supposed to have a private, and I go out to my car. My car is booted, so I couldn't go to training. So I go back upstairs. I was mad all day long. I got that taken care of, and they booted me again. Yeah, so I was having a terrible time.
This is like a Seinfeld episode.
This is all leading up to the fight. This is all within a month. I dislocated my right hand, and I could not find a chiropractor down here that would work with me. Right. I got x-rays done. they wouldn't give me the results. So I was like, you know what? I know someone who's efficient and will do their work. So I drove all the way up to see Donnie Walsh in New Smyrna. He fixed my hand instantly. And I drove all the way back down to keep training, only to get staph infection. I got a staph infection. I got the worst one. I got MRSA. Wow. And this was like 2 weeks out from the fight. So I was laying in bed in pain. My whole arm's like shut down. I was in pain. I was like, I'm just going to go to sleep and just sleep it off. We'll wake up and it'll be gone. My pain will be gone. I took ibuprofen. I'm good. No, I was trying to sleep, and the pain was starting to spread into my chest. So my pecs are starting to hurt. Right. So I was like, you know what? This is a little too much. I'm gonna go to the hospital. Yeah. So I go to the hospital. They give me antibiotics. They cut it open. They pull nastiness out of my arm. They said if I would have fallen asleep, there's a potential chance I would have died in my sleep. It would have spread too fast.
Insane. Yeah. Wow.
So then I got put on antibiotics. I was on them for about 4 days. When I got the call that Danny Henry pulled out, I was like, yes! I did not want to fight at all. So then 2 weeks later, after that, I got the call to fight in Orlando. Or
Tampa.
Yeah, but I was fine now.
Right.
I mean, my cardio was bad from not training. I was just recovering from the antibiotics and chilling, but Once I was good enough, I got like 3 days to get really hard cardio in, and I was
right.
fine.
Okay, so
that fight in Tampa was me at my absolute minimum.
Insane. And people, and I've talked to many people, Mike, and Joanna won the main event, Michelle Watterson, big fight in female MMA, and still to this day, people are saying, "Wow, that was the Mike Davis breakthrough." UFC. That was that glass ceiling shattering. That's actually another point that I'm going to bring up later in the show. Yeah. But, okay, so with that being said, you kind of hit something at the beginning of all that. You went down to ATT, 4, 5, 6 months ago, whatever it was, and then you kind of got banged up a little bit right away. Is it, just to be blunt about it, is it hard to say, hey, guys, I need a break a second? It just... I'm not 100% right now, and you're going against Edson Barbosa. I was at those practices. You're going against the best in the world, round after round. You're training with Dustin, or is it like they brought you in and you went down there for that first 2 weeks? Like, you're part of the team. Like, you got to get in there, regardless.
The first day I was there, they were kind of like, who is this? A couple people knew me, but they're kind of like, who is this? But then They saw me spar, and they're like, oh, okay, we know who he is now. Yeah. And then they put me with everybody. So you're asking if it's like, if I need a break, is it easy to just say it?
Yeah, especially at the beginning. You're at the Coconut Creek, American top team, one of the best gyms in the world, maybe the best 2019 out of any gym. That first week, if you're not feeling great, is it hard to say, guys, hey, King Mo, I need these 2 days. I need to get away. Is that tough?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Even now, at first is because you're trying to make an impression. So you're trying to show up to every class on time and do what you're supposed to. Now I feel like I'm part of the team, and if I need my days off, I just be like, hey, King, I'm not coming in. No. See you on Monday. It's easy,
Right. That's cool. Okay, so you did say that. I'm happy you kind of said that. Okay, it's been 6 months now, the whole year, the fall. You got to have a UFC win underneath your belt. Do you feel part of the American top team, team? You feel home at Coconut Creek? You feel good there day in, day out, week in, week out? You feel Coconut Creek? You love down south? Yeah.
I'm liking this gym. I have no complaints. Everything is good. I'm like a hard pick for everybody who's got coming up fights. I get put in privates. I get put with hard people. We go 100% sometimes. Sometimes we're just moving around like work. I'm out grappling every person I go with. Come on. We won't mess with that. I recently just pulled a muscle on my back, so I'm relaxing. I'm going kind of easy now. But my last sparring was Thursday, hard sparring.
Yeah.
And I had every coach watching me spar. in the middle of sparring, I just take a glance out to the crowd, and you had King Mo, Dean Thomas, Conan, Mike Brown, all of them just sitting there watching.
Mako?
Thiago Alves, they're all just standing. I'm sorry?
Mako? Steve Mako?
I don't know where Mako was. I didn't see Mako.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, true. Maybe coming back from the PFL thing in New York, right? He was out there for Kayla.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's just, how incredible is that? It's just every weekend seems like someone from American Top Team is fighting for a championship, and there's different organizations, PFL, Bellator, ONE FC, UFC, just crazy. I'm in love with the gym. Their 2019 year, Masvidal with everyone down. The females with Jillian, Kayla, what Joanna's about to do. It's insane. And then I always say your weight class, like you're in that, anywhere with fly to bantam to feather to the lightweight, it's, you want Porta and Eric Showtime Shelton, Chase Batwell down there. You just told me that Luis Pena, Violent Bob Ross is down there now. Someone that we love and know, on the Fight Bananas, Jacob Kilburn. He's traveling down there. He said he saw you a little bit down there. He's like, God damn, that Mike. He goes, he's so strong. Mike Davis, he's such a beast. I'm like, yes. It's not like the nickname works,
Yes. That is what the goal is, to just let people know I live up to my name.
Right. Okay, so then something we did mention about the Tampa to a UFC, and I know, you seems like a lot of fighters want to be on the card that's coming up in 12, 14 days. This Conor McGregor, Cowboy Cerrone, UFC 246, tons of fighters want to be on it, and I get it. I love that it's Conor McGregor in the main event, ton of eyes. I get it, but a day after, a week after, media, the fans, all people are going to talk about is if Conor won and who is he going to fight next, or if Cerrone put off the upset, and that's it. Just to be blunt about it, and I hate, that's it. The main event is be all end all. It's a one fight card to so many different eyes, right? But I love
I thought about that.
Right, the Tampa card and now the Norfolk card, which I made a little post about it earlier. Dude, I love it. It's stacked with so many great fighters and fights. And if you, put up a performance like you did against Gifford, like, you get the buzz. So now Sunday and Monday, all these shows, all the podcasts, all the MMA media, all these shows are like, whoa, did you see Mike Davis now 2 times in a row with, TKOs or knockouts or wins and the buzz? I just think, and this is just my point, I don't know if you agree with me or totally disagree, and that's fine.
No, I agree.
I love this card for you because you're breaking through. Like the 2020 years, the breakthrough of Mike Davis, this is a perfect opportunity, the 29th ESPN Plus, to break through.
We're going to start off big right in the early months. I want to do February. And it's good to fight on these. They're not no-name cards, but they're not like UFC 2-something, whatever.
Right. Yeah.
They're the lower end. They're fight night cards, which is good because you have the lower end people fighting on them. So when you stick out, you really stick out.
Right.
That's what I like about it.
Right. Me too.
Especially when I'm on the rise. I'm not on a main card. I'm not big name. So if I was to be on a bigger card like that, I would just still be in the prelims and still be a nobody.
Right. And not a nobody, but it's a building up. I feel like these cards build the contenders. Like they build, dude, Alexander Volkanovski was on 3 or 4 of these cards in a row. He kept on finishing people, and now like he had one main pay-per-view card. Boom, he's against Max Holloway for the title. It's like 2 or 3 of these in a row. And talking about that, because every time we talk, we've always brought up featherweights and future matchups and stuff. And of course, Max Holloway, arguably the greatest featherweight of all time. We've always talked about it. That's a possible matchup sooner or later down the road for you. Is that still someone you still watch, or is it now is all you're watching Alexander? Do you think in a year or 2 he's still going to be there, or are you just 100% watching Mike Davis?
Now that I'm actually in the sport, I used to look up to a bunch of fighters, but now that I'm in the sport, I'm trying to be better than they ever were. So I'm not really watching anybody anymore. Kind of watching myself and asking questions about myself. I've taken a big interest in jiu-jitsu. I want to compete in Worlds this year.
Right.
I want to compete in ADC. I'm going to do the ADCC trials. definitely going to step it up this year. I'm 27 now, so I don't know. I feel like I'm approaching my prime, and I want to be the best, better than anyone else.
Right, and talking about that, and someone that we both know, dear, and love, and we'll leave the Vegas stories alone. The Quintet Ultra. It was an awesome show. I know that's like something that kind of interests you. You're talking about. There's going to be probably more of those going forward in the future. A lot of Quintet stuff. It's just, to me, it's really hot. Like these grapple and super fights. Do you see Mike Davis in one of these Quintet or Submission Undergrounds in 2020?
I do. I'm going to continue with my beliefs and say that I'm a white belt. So everyone that watches this will know that I'm a white belt.
There you go.
So we'll go ahead and compete in the Quintet when I get my opportunity, and I'll show you guys that whatever I can do on the ground, I guess.
Right. You want to roll with Gilbert Burns one more time?
Yeah.
Get that back?
I would like to roll with Gilbert Burns without any kind of with nothing at stake.
Right. Just
to grind. I record it because I'm on the top of my head. I'm going to get my payback.
Absolutely. Two kind of last things we'll have fun with. One is combine 18 days, I think, Burns and Thomas Gifford. You have a legitimate fight camp. Mike, I don't know if you know what that is. It's a fight camp in the UFC. It's weeks and 8 weeks for a fight. For one, how do you feel with that, having a legitimate fight camp for you for this fight?
I don't like having this long of a fight camp.
Right.
So, honest, I'm kind of just easing into it really, really slow because my body will adapt really fast.
Right.
And I'll peak really soon, like really quick, especially if I put my mind. Once my mind hits that switch, I'll peak instantly, almost instantly. Then I have to try to maintain that peak until we're ready to cut weight. Right. I don't want to do that.
Right.
So yeah, I think 4 weeks is like the max I need. And now I still have 8, right? It's about 8?
Yeah, the February 29th.
That's too many days. I don't need that many days. I'm going to peak, I'm going to overtrain, and I don't want to do that. So I go real slow. Skipping some days, eating a lot of food. Oh my God! Yesterday I think I had 10,000 calories.
Is it one of your resolutions? Spend less money on food, 2020?
Yeah. Spend less money on bad food.
Bad food. There you go.
I eat the good food.
There you go. Last kind of topic-y thing is both at lightweight, both short notice fights, so you had to make lightweight. And then, one of the sites said bantamweight, and you're like, gosh, I would have to cut off a leg to make bantamweight. But this is it. This is your home, UFC home, featherweight, first fight in the featherweight division. Does that, do you feel a little added pressure to like, hey, this is a statement win for me to make here. This is my division going forward in 2020? Or this, like always, just an absolutely another fight, the next kind of check in the toolbox for you?
I think it's just another fight.
Right.
I like 45 because it makes me feel it's just like where I belong because I'm not a heavy person. I don't walk around at 180 or 185 and cut to 55 like all these other 55ers do. I can't even touch 170. So it sucks for me to try and, it sucks. For me to go against people like Gilbert who are cutting from he's got to be 190. He's a big man. So to fight people like him, when I only cut maximum 10 pounds and he cut 30, 40, it's not what I want to do. So I want to be on that high end. I want to cut my 20 pounds to make 145 and then fight other people who are cutting maybe 20 pounds. Sometimes they're even lighter. They're cutting from like 160. But I max like 165, 166 now.
Right.
So I feel like going into the 45 division, I'm still the bigger guy, still the stronger guy. And then when it comes down to it, I'll be able to take more punishment. Not going to, but I'd be able to. People hit light in the 45 division. compared to a big macho 55 swinging a 35-pound weight in my face. That's what it feels like.
Right.
So 45 division is definitely what I'm going to call home, especially since I can still make that weight easily.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Why not? And
I'll make a statement with this kid when I show that I still hit harder than like welterweight.
Man,
I'm gonna throw this out there just because it was funny, but
throw it.
We had a couple drinks. Okay, this is what day was this? Oh, this is right before New Year's Eve. Right before, like the day before. Alex Nicholson came down, and we were hitting that bag thing.
Yeah,
we had a couple fans watching
and throwing the darts.
Alex hit it, and he hit it hard. Like I heard it, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Some guy was like, "Oh, you dang near broke the machine." And then I went up to it, and he's like, "Bro, don't even try. You're not gonna beat that." He hit it with a hammer, and then Alex was like, "I wouldn't be too sure about that." So I hit it. I beat Alex's score. I hit harder than Alex. Alex is a monster. I know this is just talking a machine, but get down to the specs, we'll see. Pound for pound, I bet I hit harder.
Wow, that's insane. Hitting harder than a heavyweight. That's crazy. That is so crazy. Yeah, and Alex is a complete monster.
It's all in the technique.
Right?
It's a technique.
Right. Two little quick last things. We are UFC 246, weeks, couple days away. Conor McGregor, Donald Cerrone, who wins the main event?
Man, Conor McGregor is going to win. He's more energetic than he's ever been. He is a brown belt out of the dark. I don't know how he did that, but he's a brown belt. I don't see Donald outstriking Conor. And then I saw Conor's wrestling defense against Khabib, and I don't think Donald can get him to the ground if his wrestling got better than it was back then.
Right.
So I think Conor will win.
I did too, and it's weird. Conor's one of those guys too. He knows, regardless, whoever he beats, Cowboy, the next fight is humongous. If it is Khabib or Georgie or GSP comes back or Usman, whatever it is, there's five guys.
I think he said that he would do a quick turnaround against Gaethje.
I would love that.
I don't think he beat Gaethje. I think Gaethje would knock him out.
I almost agree with you. I agree with you on that. Gaethje's definitely the dark horse out of all this in that weight class and this whole kind of lighter weight class. If that happens, that's for a mixed martial arts fan and the media, that's awesome. It's amazing. I think Conor's definitely, he's wanting the big, super big, epic fight, whoever it is. Diaz too, GSP.
So he can get paid and then banished for 2 years again.
Right.
I don't know.
Right. Last one, the same guy in the card. We talked about Gilbert a little bit. Sodiq Yusuff on the UFC 246 prelim card. We always know, you would love to get that one back. Are you? You're not rooting, but I guess rooting's the right word.
No, I'm rooting.
Yeah, rooting for Sodiq to keep on moving up that ladder, and then sooner or later, 2021 UFC 288 main event, BeastBoy Davis, Sodiq for the title.
I think that would be cool.
That would be cool, right?
Back, that'd be fun. I like Sodiq. Sodiq is a great fighting style. He has great coaches behind him and a great work ethic. So to watch him go out there and climb, and to know that we had a all-out war and we were definitely hand in hand, neck and neck, it makes me really confident in my ability. Right.
It's you always,
he could not finish me, but he is finishing everybody in the UFC. That proves confidence a lot.
Wow, that's awesome. Mike BeastBoy Davis, February 29th, UFC Norfolk. If you anything else, of course, the platform at the end is always yours, Mike. Anyone you want to thank, shout out, promote, you have a funny joke, what movie you seen lately, anything like that, it's always yours, brother.
I got nothing this time. Just a happy new year to everybody. I'm going to start this new year off with a bang, get my first win in the featherweight division, show you guys that I am going to be king. That's it.
I like that. And you hit harder than Alex Nicholson, so.
Yeah. And
oh, man. Mike, man, appreciate you, brother. Always welcome. Always love having you on. Have a great day. We'll talk to you real soon, my man.
All right. Thank you, Dave.
Later, brother. All right, guys, that was it. Mike BeastBoy Davis back on the Fight Bananas podcast. Man, we appreciate that guy so much. He's just been on the podcast literally since the beginning. I remember his first announcement against Gilbert Burns. He came on, talked to us, and then Thomas Gifford before, then literally right after. It was that Sunday night. He was going on Ariel Helwani Monday morning, calls me up. He's like, Dave, I'm going on Ariel Monday. You want to talk Sunday night? Man, always appreciate Mike Davis. And guys, make sure you keep on following him. Great follow on Instagram. Always doing funny stuff. Always intrigued on what he's watching or doing or eating. Mike Davis MMA. That's Instagram. That's Twitter. Definitely will interact with you on the Twitterverse. I saw that a couple fans put out there. They said that Mike Davis is one of the most interactive fighters, UFC fighters, to go back and forth. So it's always awesome, man. Mike BeastBoy Davis, Pete White Boxing MMA, Port Orange, Florida, doing big things all the way down south now in Florida. Coconut Creek, American Top Team. Facebook, guys, Instagram, Twitter, Mike Davis MMA. Wow. 2020 is going to be big. That's UFC Norfolk, February 29th. Mike Davis is on the ESPN Plus Fight Night card. Guys, thanks so much to all of our sponsors. We're going to wrap it up. We're just rolling, guys. So much great content. Thank you so much. iHeartRadio. Give them a lot of love. Subscribe to the Fight Bananas podcast, but not even that. Go to all their podcast platforms. They're really pitching in a lot to us, so just keep going back to iHeartRadio. Anything music, any podcast, go on the iHeartRadio app, that little nice red app. It's got a heart on it. It's called iHeartRadio. Big deal. Also a big deal, guys, WarhammerFightwear.com. Humongous deal. Check them out at WarhammerFightwear.com. You can get their gear on the Amazon app. They have great stuff for men, ladies, kids, bags, stickers. They got it all, guys. WarhammerFightwear.com. Also, End Still Nutrition, been with us since day one. End Still Nutrition has been linked up with Mike BeastBoy Davis for years and years and years. Supplements, just a lot of stuff to keep him healthy. Also, not even that, you ready for this one? End Still Nutrition's got a badass trucker hat. You got to check that out, guys. End Still Nutrition. Their website's endstillnutrition.com. If you want to check them out on the Instagram, check them out at The Real End Still. Another one's been great to us is Mako Tech mouth guards, supporting a lot of fighters, giving them the mouthpiece they need to succeed and to protect the teeth. It's so vital to protect your gear, to protect your teeth. Mako Tech mouth guards. Check them out on Instagram, Mako Tech, TEK _ mouth guards. Space Coast Botanicals, Fusion CBD products, tons of love for them. They give me this stuff that I need to every single day. The Space Coast Botanicals, the Balm 400 mm, it's insane. It's bananas. Guys, Mike Davis MMA on the IG and Twitter. February 29th is going down his first fight, his debut in the featherweight division, his home, where they will call him King. Continue success, stay bananas, and support the Beast Boy.